Okay, hi there. I think we had it set up sideways last time. Hey, this video, we are creating this for if you are a first-time home buyer and you're getting ready or you're just thinking about possibly the start of it, this is the video for you to watch. You're going to learn so much. So it's going to be amazing. Hi, I'm Renae Cox. I am the voice of real estate for Central Ohio, and I have with me today Alex Titus, and he is, just give a little quick introduction and then we'll talk a little bit more in a bit.
Yeah, appreciate
He's
it.
I don't even know if I said you were in mortgage or not.
Yeah,
I just said this is Alex.
AmeriFirst Home Mortgage, so been with them for quite some time, been in the mortgage industry for a while, seen it at its best and at its worst. But it's a hot time to buy a home. I think everybody knows that. It's kind of harder than it was when you're buying a home a few years back. But first thing is you got to have a good realtor. So Renae, call her. Also, you got to have a good mortgage guy. So someone who knows what they're doing, someone who's going to pick up the phone, I think is the biggest thing. Nights, weekends, because that's when everybody's making offers. But essentially, with AmeriFirst, we do every type of loan out there. So we do 500 credit score buyers. We do no credit score buyers. We do self-employed, and then we do the normal stuff. So W-2'd, hourly, salary, everything in between. And we offer all the loan products that you can think of. So FHA, VA, USDA, conventional. And we have some of those first-time home buyer programs that I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. That would be awesome. One of the things is, I know a lot of times we don't learn any of this stuff in school about what you need to do to get ready to buy a house. People don't even think about that kind of stuff. So we're going to start at the letter A, if we're going to go through A through Z, if that's okay, and just start like somebody that has no idea. They might not even know what conventional means, or VA, or any of that stuff. So we need to just say somebody is up at night and they just can't sleep and they just turn on the video and they find this and they're like, oh, a new home buyer. That could possibly be me the first time.
Yeah.
I want to give you a little bit of backstory on Alex. He went to school with my son, and they went to Olentangy Orange and played hockey together. So I've known this guy right here for quite a while, and it's so amazing to see him grow up. He just bought his first house, and the most amazing thing is he recently got married and had your first baby.
I did, thank you.
So how's mother, how's mommy and baby doing?
Mommy is working her butt off. I'm doing what I can, just to keep up, because, he needs her more than me right now. But I had a boy, his name's Bo, wonderful guy. Love him, he's growing so fast, and it's just nice having a house. Having us all under one roof instead of like an apartment or, a townhome, whatever. And living away from the city has been a blessing.
That's awesome.
Really lucky.
That's awesome. Well, I don't know if you guys can see the background or not. Right now we are at Swickard Park in New Albany, and it's amazing for me. I graduated from New Albany High School in '85, so it was not this New Albany. It was, I grew up on a farm with horses and cows and pigs.
Way over that way now.
Yeah, and I remember my parents drive into White Castles to go get White Castles in Columbus, and it just seemed like it was so long. We used to get Eagles Pizza every Friday night while we watched The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
Wonderful memories here, but yeah, this is a gorgeous park. This is a swimming pool, the aquatic. That's it.
You got
that's
it.
The word, aquatic. So that's where we are. That's where Alex is based out of. Also, is New Albany, and so am I. So that's why we are here, and we are sweating like crazy. It is.
You
hot.
can't tell. That's why I wear black.
It is hot. I was living in Arizona for the past 3 years, and I can deal with 120 degrees. But I cannot deal with in the 80s and humidity.
It's a different type of hot. You can cut it with a knife.
It's miserable. It's miserable. Hey, before we go on anymore, is there anyone watching, I can't tell, that could possibly maybe just say, hey, can you hear us? Is there anything, on this that you're not able to hear us or anything like that? I don't know if I should.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like
Anybody
button.
have a like button or thumbs up that you can hear us and you can see us? Let's
Maybe
see.
We'll get one.
Maybe
Someone?
one.
Anyone?
It says 6 people are watching. 7 now. So if any one of you 7 out there could give us a little thumbs up to say that everything's
hear us?
okay.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Oh,
All right.
who is that? Dan Jenkins. Yep, I can hear
Perfect,
you.
Dan. Thanks,
okay,
Dan.
thank you so much, Dan. Hey, also, during this whole thing, if you have any questions for Alex, just type it in right then. You might not remember it. You'll be able to see the comments afterwards. We're going to post this on Facebook. We will go back and read these messages. And yeah, just if you think of something really quick, just write it down. Or not write it down, type it out. That's what I meant.
We'll get back to you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so just like he said, the first thing is find a good realtor. And that is me, someone that's very passionate. I know the area, I know the market, I know what we need to do to get the offer. I'm having my offers accepted, and that's like one of the big main things right now. So that being that said, when somebody calls me for the first time, the first thing I ask them is, have you been pre-qualified?
What's that mean?
Yeah, tell them a little bit about it. So I'll send them to Alex. I'll tell him I have this amazing person that I work with, and he's my partner, and I trust him with everything. I can get a hold of him 24/7, because there's a lot of times that these deals, just like he mentioned earlier, are in the middle of the night or late. So we want somebody that we can trust, and I love working with Alex. I can trust him. I don't have to worry that the deal is not going to come through or the deal is going to fall apart at the last minute. That's not going to happen with Alex. So I will recommend everyone that hasn't worked with a lender or hasn't gotten pre-qualified. This is whether you're a first-time home buyer or not.
Second, third, 100th time
Right.
home buyer.
You know, and real quick, we're talking about not just the millennials, not just the young guys. If you haven't owned a home in the last 2 years, you are a new home buyer. Is that correct?
I'll correct you on that. 3 years. So if you
Okay.
haven't been on a mortgage or held a title to a home in the last 3 years, then you are considered a first-time home buyer again. So a lot of people don't know that or what these first-time home buyer programs are all about, but I'm happy to jump into that, or if you have a
Yeah.
question, I can just
Yeah.
piggyback off that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about that. Okay,
Yeah.
so I send someone to you and they call you
Mhm.
and they say, hey, this is, I'll just say my son's name. So anyways, he's a millennial and he just bought his first home and sold it. I have another video up about that whole experience with him. But so say Clayton didn't have a home yet, and this was
Yep.
his first time. He called you and you didn't know him.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hey Clayton, my name's Alex Titus. I'm with AmeriFirst. Tell me a little bit about where you're at in the process. Have you been approved by other lender yet? Do you have a purchase price range? Do you have a monthly payment that you're trying to stay within? Most people are renting right now, and there's this term called payment shock, and they don't want to go from renting at $1,000 and now purchasing at a monthly payment of $2,000. So I think keeping some of those key points in mind is really going to tailor my program and my pre-approval to them. So that's some of just like the main things. What's your intention, time frame, monthly payment, what do you feel comfortable spending month to month, and do you even have an idea of an amount? Most people, 9 times out of 10 are, Alex, I don't even know where to freaking start. So totally fine. So what it takes to get approved for a mortgage is a combination of income, assets, and credit. If you meet our company's criteria, then more than likely you'll be approved for the mortgage. Granted, there's tons of things that can happen, but so I would take my basic application, just really having a conversation kind of like we're doing now. It's very formal, informal type of conversation. So I want to grab the main pieces. So what do you do for work? Kind of grab that. 2-year history. As lenders, we like things in twos.
you know what? It doesn't have to be the same company as long as it's like the same thing, right?
2-year consistent history. You can have a
Consistent.
6-month gap in your employment history, and we'll work with you. We all know COVID happened and it messed a lot of people's employment up. So if you've been unemployed for 6 months, we'll work around it. There are guidelines where we can push through that. But essentially, yeah. So the income stuff, consistent 2-year history, assets. We want to make sure you have enough for down payment and closing costs. I'll get into some of our grant down payment programs here in a second, and credit. So like I mentioned, we go as low as 500, 580 and above, 580 and above rather. They're going to require less than anything below that. So, right off the top here, if you're at a 500 or above, in between 500 and 580, you got to have 10%, guys.
Hey, let's go back a little bit further.
Absolutely.
What if they've never checked their credit score and
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't even know how to?
Yeah.
What would they do? And do you
Easy.
suggest them going to do that first? Well, one thing, your credit gets hit. Is that it's called hit when somebody checks on it.
Yeah, so everyone's
So
worried.
you don't want to just go up on your credit report or just fill out application. Anyways, tell them the best way to go about finding that out or explaining it that they've never done that before.
Yeah, so great question. So the main thing is if you're applying for a mortgage, we're going to have to pull your credit. We're going to have to. You're talking about a 30-year fixed note. It's a pretty big debt.
Right.
So it's nothing to play around with. So we're going to have to do it. It's maybe 2 to 3 points off of your credit report, which isn't anything significant. We do it once, and it lasts for 90 days. So that's the biggest thing. The reason why we have to re-pull after 90 days is because we need to make sure you didn't take on any more debt or your credit hasn't gone down. And more than likely, you'll find something in between now and then.
That's a nightmare if you work with someone that does not tell you that ahead of time, which it's happened. And they were getting ready to buy a home or getting ready to close on their home. They bought a new car.
Oops. Yeah, don't want to do that,
No.
guys. And the reason, just around that and credit is you're opening up a line of credit with already a balance of however much, 20,000. So it hits your credit worse than opening up a new credit card. But regardless, if you have never gotten your credit checked, it's always best, check with a lender. We're going to pull in a different FICO score. So your Credit Karma, your credit reporting apps, Chase, Wells Fargo, PNC, whatever you have, it's going to be different. I have a 100-point swing on my Wells compared to my PNC. But when I pull in my credit score for my mortgage, completely different. So there's a number of different FICOs out there. Best to check with us first.
Okay, awesome. I was getting ready to say something about that, and I cannot remember what it was.
But you'll have 3 scores: Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. You'll have a bottom, middle, and highest. So we go with the middle score every time. And if there's 2 borrowers, sorry,
That's okay.
I get excited. I have my second cup of coffee today. So if I have 2 borrowers, 1 and a co, we always go with the middle and then the lowest of the 2 scores.
It left my brain
It's
again.
okay. I'll keep talking.
Just
This is just a Q&A.
Okay, just so you know, when I remember it,
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you and
That's
just
fine.
pause your thought
That's
just for
fine.
a second.
I get it.
Oh, no, I know what it is.
Okay.
Okay, it is making your payments on time.
Ooh.
If you have a little credit card, if you have a car payment, your rent, anything, your electric, anything will show up. So if you're renting right now, this is why we want you to get into a home, because you can start making yourself rich instead of your landlord. That's
Love
the
that.
whole thing about this
Definitely.
this whole thing that we want to be into a home to start. It's crazy how much money we're putting in people's pockets now in equity in
And-
just a year.
Yeah, and I'd say, a home is an investment too. It hurts, because I'm one that likes to hoard my money and I don't want to spend it. And buying a house, it was hard for me because, I have a down payment to pay for. But, I think the biggest thing is it is an investment. Your home is going to appreciate rather than depreciate. So it's not a car, car you drive off the lot, boom, instantly it's worth less money. Or, a motorcycle or a boat, whatever, it does appreciate. So you'll make money, and if not, you'll get your money back.
Right.
So,
And if you're looking, say you're not ready right now. If you are, call us today. We'll help you. But if you're listening to this and you're a year out, just the number one thing that we can tell you is just make sure that everything is paid on time.
Yeah,
And try to get
just
as
stay on
much
top
debt
of it.
paid off completely if you can, because the better rate you're going to have, you get better rates for the credit scores, correct?
absolutely. So credit is going to influence everything. It's going to influence the loan program. It's going to influence your interest rate, and it's going to influence your mortgage insurance. So PMI, if you're not putting 20% down. So it's important.
Tell them what PMI is.
Okay, so PMI is private mortgage insurance. You pay into it when you put less than 20% down. In the event that you foreclose, God forbid, hope that doesn't happen to anybody, that's like our insurance policy. We get paid that, and you foreclose on your home. But if you put in 20% of equity, so 20% down payment, no reason to bring it down. No reason to have PMI rather. So, yeah, and so anytime you put a higher down payment down, slightly better interest rate, slightly lower PMI. But PMI falls off of your loan on a conventional, and on FHA it does stay on for the whole life of the loan.
Now say somebody doesn't know about any of them, the different types.
Yep.
So do you choose if it's FHA or conventional, or do you just tell them, or VA if you're a veteran? You can get great rates for that too.
Definitely.
But do you put them what's best?
Yeah,
Put them where
so-
they fit best
Yeah,
at? I know now with the
absolutely.
market so crazy, most sellers are picky now and they get to choose on an offer.
Yeah.
And a lot of them aren't taking FHA
Correct.
because FHA loan, it's not a remodel. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
it's-
You can't, it needs to be move-in ready.
Yeah, so what I'll tell you, yeah, pretty much what you said, but there's other reasons why, FHA is seen in a negative light. It has a negative tone, stigma to it. FHA, you're gonna have credit score ranges of 580 to about a 680, and then conventionals, 680 and above to 850, your perfect credit. But it's really gonna be tailored to you. If you're teetering in between conventional and FHA, I'll make the determination if going conventional is better for you or if going FHA is going to be better for you. In every situation, I want to go conventional because it is a better loan program. It looks a little bit better in this market, but FHA is equally as good. So right now, what we do at AmeriFirst, and this seems to be helping all of my government loan style borrowers, is we can throw loans into underwriting, get them completely approved, so that loan commitment you write on a contract, we can get that before an offer is accepted. Okay, so
We'll go back a little bit. That's why when I would send them to Alex, they would get pre-approved. That they would send a letter, that I would have a letter, and then when you find your dream home that you want to make an offer on, we will send that letter from Alex with the offer. That's why it's so important to have that, because a lot of people, if they don't have that, the sellers, they will look right past it. 'Cause they want to make sure that if they pick this buyer, yeah, if they pick this buyer, they want to make sure that you're going to close.
Yeah, and what you mentioned, and FHA is a little bit more stringent on appraisals and what they look for on appraisals. So it's a government loan, guys. It's funded by the government. They're going to be a little bit more nitpicky than your typical private loan, like a conventional. But chipping, peeling paint, which most houses have, broken window, few and far between, loose guardrails, anything that would cause harm or any hazard around or in the house, that's what will be picked up on an FHA. And some people are in a rush to sell their home and don't have time to fix it, and it costs them money to fix it, so that's why they'd rather have conventional.
Okay, awesome. So let's talk to somebody that doesn't know if they're ready. I mean, they want to buy a house, they just don't think that they couldn't even come close to it, and they're renting right now, and they're spending. Do you have an amount that you can say, if you're spending this much in rent, that you should be putting that towards your own mortgage?
Yeah, so it's really going to come down, all in all, to debt to income ratio. So debt to income ratio, it's exactly how it sounds. So you're going to take your income, and then you're going to take your monthly liabilities or debt. So rent, if you just want to calculate this yourself, your rent payment plus your monthly credit card payments, minimum payments, so $25 for Chase or $100 for Wells, whatever that might be. And then you divide that by your income and you'll get your ratio. So we want to keep you within a certain ratio amount, but you'll know if you're stretching your income. If you're not,
You don't want to be house poor.
And
Not being able to enjoy your life. Like, we want you to get into your home, but also enjoy your life.
Not spend, all your money on a mortgage and be able to put some money to the side for retirement, kids. And now I'm learning, a lot about that.
And if that
kids are
means not,
expensive.
and if that means not getting the home that you want right now, still get one that's less expensive. We'll know how much, and then put a little bit of elbow work into it and get it just the way you love, and then you can move up.
Definitely.
Don't they say people move 7 times average in their lifetime?
Absolutely. So, people move all the time for numerous reasons, new job, whatever, or have to downsize, or, family grows. But you can leverage all of that equity that you put into your home to the next purchase and the next purchase and the next purchase. So what I mean by that is when you sell your home, more than likely you'll make money, and you'll be able to put that in towards a down payment on the next home. And your down payment, it also influences your monthly payment. So the higher the down payment, the lower the monthly will be. And just rule of thumb, guys, every $5,000 that you put down as a down payment is only going to change your monthly about $25. So, if people are having questions of do I put $15,000 down, or do I put 20, put 15, or even put 10? Keep your money, for a rainy day.
Now, what if they don't have a savings to put any money down? What is that person out of the picture, or tell them how they can work around that?
Absolutely not. So you have your USDA. We do those loans. Certain stipulations. It's free money and it's not. So they're going to be a little bit stringent on those. But we offer a few different programs here just for in Ohio. So your Ohio Financial Agency. So that's called an OFA loan. That's something that I specialize in. You get up to 2.5% or 5% in a grant from the state towards down payment and closing costs. It's always best to have some money saved, but put it in perspective for you, $100,000 home, you either get $2,500 or $5,000. So 2.5% or 5%.
That's huge right now because sellers aren't taking. Back in the day, the buyers could ask for the sellers to pay the closing costs. Yeah. And that's not happening right now. No. So if you can get this, keep going.
It could help. It could help. Appraisal gap stuff. As long as you qualify. So you have your Ohio Financial Agency. You have your grants for grads. So my graduates who have graduated in the last 48 months, we can get you a grant. Ohio Heroes, so that's another program. We can get you a grant.
Now, who is that for?
So that is for our first responders, so policemen, military men and women, EMTs, paramedics, anyone who teaches from K through 12, we can get you that grant. Now, these stipulations or how you qualify are going to be the exact same. So you have to have 640 to 650 credit. You have to meet the debt to income ratio requirements. You have to meet the purchase area requirements. So they're going to put caps on where you can purchase. You can't purchase a $500,000 home under this program, unfortunately, but 200, 300 is usually the rule of thumb. But they're all going to fall under the same category. So if you qualify for one, you're going to qualify for the other one. So those are hugely beneficial. We still do them. We're not discounting that from anybody. We have them if you need them. So yeah, they're big. They're really big. And then, for instance, if you do have your own cash and you want some left over for an appraisal gap, kind of get creative there. You could do it. So, Next Home. So Next Home is for any second, third, fourth time home buyer. You can still get a grant, and you get 2.5%.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So we run them all here in Ohio. I do them, and I specialize in them, and they're just a matter of seeing if you qualify.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
It's great.
So let's think here. I'm trying to think if we answered a lot of the questions. Let's see if anybody has asked any questions that maybe we can answer.
Anyone?
I don't see any yet.
Any weird questions?
Yeah, anything, any questions?
I look a lot taller when I'm standing than when I'm sitting. I'll put
Me
it
too.
that way. Just kidding. I'm pretty short. But
Me too.
Yeah, guys, I'm licensed in all of Ohio, not just Columbus or New Albany. I'm a local guy. Oh, that's perfect. Let's talk about lenders. Why it pays to work with a local referral style lender than your basic Quicken or Better or any of those online lenders. Not discounting the fact that they're decent and they're advertised everywhere for a reason, but it's just volume and what they produce and how they do
You're
things.
a number to them. They don't care. If
Sorry,
the
guys.
deal falls apart, they don't care.
It's on to the next one.
They're moving
it's
to the next one.
Turn and burn style business. So working where I work, we fight to get the loan closed. I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's not like let's shove as many loans into the pipeline and hopefully a few make it out the other end. It's every loan is my goal to close that loan and make it a good experience. So I'm your point of contact. I have a team where we have the underwriter, the processor, transaction coordinators to make sure everyone's really on the same page here, to ensure a smooth closing. There's a lot of hands in the pot, title people, listing agents, sellers, but you want someone who's going to fight for you. And
it's a lot, and it is definitely someone you want on your side to fight for you, because when you say you don't know and you've never done this before, and that's who we're targeting to right now to listen, but after you get the contract in and they accept it, it's just starting, guys.
Let's go.
We have
got a timer here. You know, there's
within 7 days, the buyers will get an inspection.
Yep.
They have to pay for the inspection. The sellers will not pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
They get an inspection, and then after that, 3 days, they need to come to an agreement with the seller. And a lot of times now, they're making offers as is, where they don't care.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother video that we can get into.
We'll talk about the market
with that
later.
Yeah.
It's insane, but
It is.
But yeah, sorry.
No.
I get
So you
excited.
have the inspection period that has to go through. And then after that goes through, then it's the appraisal. What is the house going to appraise for? People are paying $50,000 to $100,000 over list price. So is it going to appraise at that?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not.
And unless you have, tell them about that. So if you don't, what the appraisal gap is the buyers dictate the market. And so what we do, we go back 6 months when I do comps on an area. Say you come to me and you say, hey, I love this home. I'm going to pull comps on it. I'm going to go 6 months back to the sold only, not what's listed right now or not what's even pending, but what has sold. I am going to go 200 square feet or 200 below to comp it with. So it's 1,500 square feet. I'm going to go to 1,700 or to 1,300.
Yep.
I am going to comp a two-story home with a two-story home, not a ranch. The same school district. We can even niche it down. Say there was a bunch of homes that sold, we're going to niche it down even more. We're not going to cross busy roads. That's going to give us the comps. And we're going to take the average of that, and that's what it's going to appraise at. It is a numbers game, hopefully.
I think that's the coin term, you know, and you know, sometimes there is that small one that was missed or, you know, whatever the case might be, but the hope is to get it at that offer price if you can, but we've just seen it so much in the market where we almost know that it's not going to appraise.
Right.
We want it to, trust us, we want it to as much as humanly possible, but if it's clear, you know, that's why we have these appraisal gaps and stuff like that. But if it doesn't appraise and we're close and, you know, it's a different market, I'd say, and what I can do is a read comparable of value. So that's hard to come by, but I've gotten them flipped over to where we did end up getting value out of the home that we needed. But basically, the appraiser will choose their own comparables, and hopefully they're the same. But you know, they'll choose a few in the area, and they'll give
us
their
as
own
an
value.
agent, we can make sure we leave on the counter our, you know, the ones that we pulled to see if they agree with those or not.
Yeah.
So.
And sometimes, you know, what you can do is, you know, send maybe 2 or 3 that he missed and ask for a challenge. Hey, you know, this is what we found. They're incomparable mile ranges, square footage, bedrooms, baths, whatever, and see if we can squeeze a little bit more value out of that. So, you know, something that's not unheard of as lenders, we can all make it happen, but
not always. I just had a deal fall
it's just
apart.
different, you know, with this market. It's harder to do these days versus a while back, but yeah. Sorry.
Right.
Went on a tangent there. But
yeah.
but yeah, so I mean, I feel like with those points, you know, the income stuff, the credit, the assets, you know, having the down payment assistance, you know, a realtor on your side, a lender on your side. There's a lot that goes into this home buying thing, but just know I'm the same guy as any of you out there. You know, I'm nothing special. You know, I got really lucky, I'd say, and worked my butt off. And I'm 28 years old. You know, this is my first time buying a house. You know, now that I got a kid, it's really cool. But I've financed loans for people who are 21 and bought a bigger house than me. And so.
And I just put in a veteran that she's retired. I just put her in
she
for
bought her first home.
Her first home.
That was crazy.
So
That was
I know.
crazy.
I was so happy for her.
It's just don't get discouraged. I think, you know, you gotta see the brighter light at the end of the tunnel, rather.
Well, one of the things too on social media, you guys, we're only seeing everyone's best.
Yeah, true.
You know, don't put yourself down if you're not there yet. You know, don't. Just it's something to work towards.
Definitely.
And if we can help you in any way, any questions you have.
Yeah,
you know,
my advice is free. You know, I'm free.
Mine too.
I'm fine with consultations.
A buyer does not pay me either.
You don't pay for anything.
Yeah.
It's just ask me a question, call me, text me, whatever. I'm always available. You have my personal information. You can find me on Zillow, all of that. But yeah, it's just a matter of looking into it, and if you're ready, great. If not, then we'll wait as long as it takes. So.
Now, anybody listening that they're going to be thinking about getting married and settling down, and you're 28, so a lot of people are waiting. A lot of people are waiting longer.
Kidding.
Like, now, your wife, she's amazing. She graduated at Olentangy Orange with my
lucky.
kids too.
Yeah.
And she's adorable. She's beautiful, adorable. Oh my God, their baby's perfect. So it's the perfect family right here.
Trying.
Yeah, but do you have any advice for anyone, that's starting out their lives together? Well,
yeah.
For instance, you're home. You're moving in, and the whole development is new, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to all build the relationships together. Your kids are going to grow up together. These might be where, after high school, after college, these kids might be friends for life.
It's weird to think about. It's a repeating cycle, and mother always told me about how her best years were high school and college, and I just didn't believe her until now. I'm at this point in my life. I'm like, crap, I miss my friends, I miss my buddies, and it's cool to see the cycle take its turn, and now it's my turn, and could be your turn next, but just stay positive, and work your off, work your butt off. Good things happen when you work hard.
They do.
Definitely.
And when you're nice to everybody, and just
definitely.
I'm grateful for everything that I have.
Gotta be kind, but yeah. I mean, do you have any other questions for me?
I can't think of any.
I think we're good.
But you know what? I think we're gonna make a usual of this because I really like this.
Yeah, this is cool.
Whether
I'm here or not, but yeah, I think this is good, informative stuff. So.
It is very informative. And put in the comments, like, what's going to be good for us is if you like this and comment and share it, would be amazing. But put your comments down. Put something else down that you'd like to see in a video. And we'll answer any of your questions. We'll help you any way we can. And Alex, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah,
oh my
definitely.
gosh, that was so wonderful. And I learned some things too today.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you. Congratulations to you
Thanks.
again.
Thank you.
And let us know if either of us can help you in any way.
Yeah.
And everyone have a great day. And bye.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks so much.
I'm sweating.
Thanks for watching.
It's hot out here.
Bye.
Heck yeah.